Jesus said to his disciples, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but only the one who does the will of my Father in heaven. Everyone who listens to these words of mine and acts on them will be like a wise man who built his house on rock. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house. But it did not collapse. It had been set solidly on rock. And everyone who listens to these words of mine but does not act on them will be like a fool who built his house on sand. The rain fell, the floods came, and the winds blew and buffeted the house, and it collapsed and was completely ruined." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Today, the theme of the Gospel talks about the will of God. And Jesus is using this parable that we know very well of the house built on the rock. And this is one of the subjects that every day really touches our lives. Because every day there are maybe several moments, many moments sometimes, every single day, in which we have to say, "Thy will be done." And usually those are not pleasant moments. Sometimes we struggle in trying to understand this. What's going on? How can ever God want this? How can ever God permit the innocent suffering? How difficult it is sometimes to say that will be done. Well, first of all, I would start saying we need to distinguish. One thing is the will of Santi, the will of Peter, the will of Ella, the will of Mario, right? We are all creatures. Another thing is the will of the Creator. We shouldn't put these things in the same level, because sometimes we do. Yes, because we judge God just like He was one of us. This is very common. And this belongs to the mentality of everyone. To think that God is just like one of us. And so we say, why are you doing that? Where are you? While we are here suffering. Yes, not. The will of God is the will of the Creator, which means that there's a creative will. My will is just my will. So I'll do what I can. That's all. But the will of God is a creative will. It means that when He wants, it is. He wants the light, and the light is. So when I say, "Thy will be done," I am doing a jump of faith that allows me to say, this thing is wrong. What's going on here now is wrong. But I put this in the will of God, because I know that God, the Creator, can write the book, can cancel, can write again, and He can use even this wrong thing in order to accomplish the best. The best that ever may happen, because He is God. And in fact, when I do that, the first miracle that happens is to me. And I had this experience many times. I remember one lady telling me, her name is Loredana. She's an Italian lady. You know, I've been visiting her and her husband every week, every Sunday, since when her husband got sick of cancer and eventually died. He suffered for 2 years, suffered a lot. Was in a very painful and pitiful situation. And I remember her that night that she was in the hospital and her husband got blood. You know, the cancer was in a very intimate part, right? And he got blood there. So she was calling, nobody was coming, and she was pushing with her hands on the wound of her husband. So she was scared and desperate. And, you know, the following day, she told me, you know, that night I said, thy will be done. And I felt peace. I felt peace from God entering my heart, even though in that tragedy. This is the first miracle of the Creator. When you take the impossible that is happening to you and you put in His will, the Creator, the first miracle that will work, it will be for you. He will give you the knowledge, the wisdom, that really He is the Creator, and so He is in control of everything that is happening to you, even though it may seem unacceptable. But at the end, many times it's written in the Bible, the prophet Isaiah and also Revelation say, God will dry every tear. Not only because He will use His handkerchief, but because He will explain to us everything.